There is an abiding beauty which may be appreciated by those who will see things as they are and who will ask for no reward except to see. But I ask, do any of us see things as they are, truly? Or are we always limited in some way by our prejudices, by our biases, or simply conditioning in early life? Politics are usually the executive expression of human immaturity. I can see why Vera thought this. Watch Donald Trump debating his opponents, and it's hard not to come to this conclusion. Or watch Prime Minister's question time in this country. Yeah. There is still, I think, not enough recognition by teachers of the fact that the desire to think, which is fundamentally a moral problem, must be induced before the power is developed. Most people, whether men or women, wish, above all else, to be comfortable, and thought is a preeminently uncomfortable process. I wouldn't regard thinking as, above all, uncomfortable. Using one's imagination, or just brainstorming, can be fun and rewarding. I understand her observation, though. My early education, from what I can remember, it wasn't great. It was basic, adequate, going through the motions, if you get what I mean. With a few of my teachers, I got the feeling they didn't want to be there. It was a chore rather than a pleasure to be teaching the kiddies. All that a pacifist can undertake, but it is a very great deal, is to refuse to kill, injure, or otherwise cause suffering to another human creature, and untiringly to order his life by the rule of love, though others may be captured by hate. I'm not a pacifist myself, but I do believe a non-violent life, as much as it's possible, is preferable. I don't have an unquenchable bloodlust, and I think I'd make for a piss-poor soldier. I would never volunteer for the military. I could never voluntarily become a tool of the state's brutality. Another Vera quote: "The pacifist's task today is to find a method of helping and healing which provides a revolutionary constructive substitute for war." End quote. You don't have to be a pacifist, of course, to oppose the obscenity that is war. Global democracy and worldwide respect for the rule of law, common fucking sense and general decency, there's the constructive substitute I would suggest. Vera again: "Modern war and modern civilization are utterly incompatible. One or the other must go." Yeah. In my darker moments, I fear the latter will go, and the remaining humans on the planet will be left in the ashes of a bleak future. But I keep the hope. Yeah, I tell myself that reason and higher virtues can win out against our lower nature. Yeah. What do you think, though? I'd really like to know. This next quote is a great insight, I would say, articulated wonderfully. The tragedy of journalism lies in its impermanence, the very topicality which gives it brilliance condemns it to an early death. Too often it is a process of flinging bright balloons in the path of the hurricane, a casting of priceless petals upon the rushing surface of a stream. Isn't that great? Vera Brittain. She was a voice from the so-called Great War, testament of youth. Maybe you've read it. Yeah. Some wise words from Vera here. I wish those people who write so glibly about this being a holy war, and the orators who talk so much about going on, no matter how long the war lasts and what it may mean, could see a case, to say nothing of 10 cases, of mustard gas in its early stages. Could see the poor things burnt and blistered all over, with great mustard-coloured, suppurating blisters, with blind eyes, sometimes temporarily, sometimes permanently, all sticky and stuck together, and always fighting for breath, with voices a mere whisper, saying that their throats are closing and they know they will choke. End quote. Always bear in mind that the realities of war, the horrors, the human suffering, is far removed from the sanitized language of political leaders or the bombastic rhetoric of pro-war patriots.